on Film Beat. My name's Dave Pullen, and my guest tonight is Fiamma Elias. Welcome aboard. It's nice to see you. We're going to talk about her film, Home Skillet. So did you get any training?
For filmmaking?
Mm-hmm.
No, this is my first film.
Oh, wow. And so what got you interested in filmmaking?
I've always watched films.
Yeah.
Since, well, my mom is a real film lover, and so she exposed us to film. So some of my earliest memories are me like being on the couch just watching, you know, all the great actresses, you know,
Wow,
Katharine Hepburn, and I fell in love with film.
All right. Did any of these films that you've watched, previous films that you've seen, have any influence on Home Skillet, or impact on you making Home Skillet, or influence the way you made Home Skillet? There's a lot of questions there, right?
Well, what it did was it made me love the element of film. I mean, this idea that you could make a story and show it to people, that grabbed me. So I always knew that there was going to be a film in me that I had to get out, because there was something about that that I just instantly recognized was mine.
Okay, right.
So yes, to answer your question.
Do you have another film planned? We'll talk about Home Skillet. I got a couple questions in my head right now. Do you have another film coming up that you've planned or written, or?
I do. I'm working on the next film, which is a rock musical, loosely based on Romeo and Juliet, around another fairly relevant contemporary American theme.
Okay, great. Let's get into Home Skillet.
Okay.
What first got you motivated to make Home Skillet? And this movie's, we're going to talk a lot about it because there's a lot of social, I love it because of the social impact that it has. So what made you think to write it and to direct it and actually go forth with, it's a lot of labor to make a film.
Yeah, I've been working on it for a couple of years now, from the beginning, from our first day of shoot, which was October 30th, 2012. And just that, previously, that February, I kind of just sort of made the announcement to my family and to the people who I'm close with that I was going to do it. And I just had the story. But the idea, the original idea for the film came from, I'm a New Yorker. I was born and raised in New York, and there's a lot of homeless, or at least there were a lot of homeless. And some of my earliest memories are of homeless people, and I never quite understood it. And it's something I've been aware of for a really long time. So I kind of knew that there was a story there that I had to find.
Home Skillet's about homelessness.
Yes.
But there's more to it than that.
Yes.
Tell us the premise of the story.
Yeah, it's really, I mean, it's about homelessness, but it's really about a decision that one person makes, and the commitment to that decision, and how the people around that person, their family and their loved ones, have to take the journey with them. And that's really the story. The story, it's a family story, a journey story. Yeah.
Well, I've seen it, and it is very impactful.
Thank you.
There's just a lot of emotion in there wrapped up in the whole family. It really does, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's, you know, thanks to, I mean, we had a great cast.
Oh, yeah.
We came together, and I mean, we came together on the first day of the set. We were just like instantly, I mean, it didn't, you know, it was a family. I mean, we had to work it out, but. Yeah.
I know a couple of the actresses, and they talked to me afterwards, and they said, you know, there was some pretty emotional times on set.
Yeah.
A lot of the scenes felt real to them. I don't want us to give too much away, because I like people to watch the film, but there were some scenes, they called me and said, wow, Dave, I had such a great thing last night. You wouldn't believe it. It was very real at that moment for this actress, and it was great. What's a few things you learned making this film?
Oh my goodness, I've learned so many things. I can't even begin to tell you how many. It's my first film. I didn't make a film before this. I shot a small music video, so it was my first film. I knew how to tell the story, but again, you know, I never went to film school, and the digital age is an age that I'm thrilled about, but it's still very foreign to me in many respects. But I love the medium, and of course I couldn't afford to shoot on actual film. Which
who can nowadays, right? Well, Hollywood still does a little bit.
I mean, right. So I had
but
to
you
do
had a great
digital.
camera. From what I understand, you had somebody come up from Los Angeles, a good film.
Yeah, that was a little bit further into it. Actually, we started with a wonderful cameraman, Andy Mazer, who is just such a gifted cinematographer and very, very. Yeah, he stepped on board, and he was one of the pieces that kind of clinked to make the project go through. And
really?
I'm always grateful to him for that. And he brought his red, and so we shot on the red Scarlet.
Yeah.
And then Andy
well, that's
had
why the
to,
quality of the picture is it's really nice.
It's so true. I love this camera. I love this camera. To me, this camera has it has a filmic quality. There's like an organic component to this camera that I really began to learn how to work with.
Okay.
And that was fun.
Okay.
So I learned a lot about that.
And the sound, let's talk about the sound a little bit. The sound was incredible too. And there's a few of the outside shots, and a lot of times the outside shots, because you can control indoors, but a lot of times outside you got cars, you got all kinds of things that can happen.
Yeah.
But the sound quality outside, you know, some of the dinner scenes, there was that one dinner scene.
You're thinking about the food cart.
Right. Well,
the food cart, when we were right on, and we were on the corner
sound
of
is really
Hawthorne
good.
and 12th. Do you know that
Right.
corner?
Well,
it's
I
like
had an idea.
super busy. So yeah, that was really an interesting night. That was actually our first day of shooting.
Wait, was that late at night?
No, it wasn't. It was, we shot October 30th was our first day. So I think we started at like 6 or 6:30, and by 7 it was, you know,
wow, it
dark.
was pretty busy at that time, though.
Yeah.
So who was the sound person?
Well, at that time, it was someone that wasn't able to walk through the journey with us. So I can't remember who was, if we had already made the transference over. Yeah, but we ended up doing. I had Charlie Armstrong was the guy that we ended up doing most of the film with and finishing the film with. But I really feel like it wasn't just about the sound in the moment of gaining the shot. It was really about having really a quality guy on set, but then also really knowing how to layer the sound. I did a lot of layering. I worked in my post-sound.
Did you edit this yourself?
Well, no. I have a wonderful editor, Heidi Zimmerman, edited it. And you know, one of the things that I knew.
But you worked with her as the director, right?
Every single day.
Okay, good.
I mean, there wasn't she didn't do anything without me.
Okay,
it was our journey together.
Well, I understand.
Yeah. But you know, Heidi was just so amazing to work with, and really understood the structure of story. And that's the one thing that I really needed an editor, because I knew this story before we even started shooting. I had written it, so I already knew exactly what the story was about and what needed to be told and what needed to be said in the characters' lives.
Okay,
you know?
great.
Yeah.
So what do you think are some of your film's strengths?
I think that I have a sense of beauty about
well, there is a
balance
sense
and
of beauty
framing.
in it. There's a sense of beauty in the film, even
Thank
though
you.
it's kind of it is a dark film.
It is indeed a dark journey.
It's a dark journey, but there is a beauty to it.
Thank you.
There is. I loved it. So what do you think are some of the film's weaknesses?
Oh, well, I don't really think I want to talk about those too much,
Okay.
because I think that what I may perceive as weaknesses, other people may not
Probably
receive
not.
as a weakness.
No, that's, you know what?
So
when you write a film, you all of a sudden you see all the weak spots, but other people go, oh, I didn't even see that.
well, there's the film you write, and the film that you
make,
shoot,
yeah.
and the film that you end up with.
You're right.
And it's
That's
true.
good. I'm glad that you
is
said
the
that.
journey. And your job is to really let the story say what it needs to say and come forward and not get in the way. Yeah.
How does your film primarily differentiate or distinguish itself from other works?
From other what?
Other works kind of like it?
My works, or works that are similar to the
Other works
film?
that are similar to it. Here's my opinion on it.
Okay. Why don't you
ending.
tell me?
The
The
ending.
ending. Oh, yeah.
Okay, because the ending is...
You're not going to give it away.
No, I'm not, but it's a striking ending.
Oh, good.
And it's impactful on you. And so, how do you think? What do you think? How do you think Home Skillet what appeal will it have to audiences? how audiences relate to it. Or let's hope they relate to it.
Yeah, well, I've done several test screenings, so I already have a pretty good idea of how a diverse audience, you know, different audiences have responded to it. And the one thing that has been consistent and has told me that the film is effective is that everyone got involved with the people in the story.
Oh,
so
really
nothing
good.
that anybody said at any point in the feedback that we received or anything had anything to do with not being involved with. In fact, they were very involved with it.
The characters, they got
and
involved.
invested in some way with the characters, and so that told me that we were on the right track.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
Right.
So how do you work with actors?
Well, you're an actor.
I know.
I look them in the eye.
All right.
And I show up.
Okay.
And I know who their character is, and what that person is trying to bring in and do, and what they're afraid of, and we come together.
Good, that's great. Right. It doesn't seem like you push the actors, but you seem like you pull them along with you, which is good.
Yeah, sometimes I push them. There was one day I was pushing everyone pretty hard.
Really?
That was a pretty intense day on set.
Yeah, there are intense
that
days
was probably my worst, you know, uber torturing directorial moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, name some of the actors.
Oh my goodness!
They like to hear the names said on TV.
Okay, so
just a couple of them.
Mark Steele, who you had on the show.
I had on the show.
Right. Mark played Jeffrey, the husband, and Chantel Sims plays Chrissy, and Catherine Johnson plays Kate, and Catherine I know is someone who you know well and dear. Yeah, and Adam Lau and Natasha Duval and Cynthia Lee, yeah, and lots of other, and David Withers, and did I say Dion Jennings? Dion?
No, you didn't.
Dion.
Yeah, I know her quite
Dion,
well too.
who's also such a wonderful local Portlander. We auditioned for 3 months.
Oh, really?
We really took our time. That was one of the things that was really so, you know, I really believe that casting is so much of your film. It's 75%, 80%. You got to find the people who bring that quality of that character that they're playing to the table. And we really took our time. And fortunately, Portland has a really nice pool.
Right, there's a lot of actors in Portland.
We have so many talented people here.
A lot of the people behind that are very talented.
I just want to give everyone work. You know, if I could, I would do it.
I want you to look at this camera. I think this is that one over there.
That one over there.
And tell us about the premiere, which is going to be at the Art Institute. Is that correct?
It's going to be, yeah, it is. And this is my little card right here. See my little card?
Yeah, you can
It's actually the Northwest Film Center. The film is going to be a part of the tracking series in the Northwest Film Center. And it's going to be at the Witzel Auditorium at the Portland Art Museum on October 9th. It starts at 7, and you could go to the Northwest Film Center page and just click on October 9th, right, and buy tickets and do whatever you need to do right there.
Right,
so, yeah, thank you for asking.
Actually, what we're going to do right now is we're going to take a couple of minutes, we're going to cut away and watch the trailer from Home Skillet. We'll be right back. I wanna build you a home. Maybe something with walls.
Happy 50.
You and I, we could float.
Eat. You'll need your strength.
Naked salad for me, please. As long as it's naked. Anything naked.
Hey, Michelle, I need to see her now! Where is she?
There are estimates that 4 million are homeless every night. Megan, wait, do you need some money? I don't think I have any cash. Megan, wait!
I need to get a job so I can get a place to live, so I can get back my kid.
What if you could do something different? Something that made people pay attention?
Do you have something in mind?
A protest fest.
I'd like to thank you all for joining me for the Last Supper.
Mom, what are you doing? Are you really going through with this?
Maybe you've taken this a little too far, Mom.
I don't know, Maggie. You're scaring me.
I think it's time to stop.
In 4
days, I speak with Congress. I can make it 4 days, can't I?
Wherever you are is where I'm home.
Wow, that is impactful. At the end of the trailer, you can just get the sense of the kind of dark, the pain that's going on there, and a woman's willing to go through so much for the homeless. It's great. What you're doing yourself, though, is making this film about the homeless to raise the awareness of it.
Yeah.
Homeschool, is it going to be on PBS? Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, tell us about it. Look at the camera. Tell us.
I know. Home Skillet is going to be have its TV premiere on OPB, which we're very, very excited about.
Right.
On OPB, and I'm not telling the date right now.
Okay.
But
that's exciting, though.
But it's going to be listed in the Oregonian and all of the papers, and and wherever there's an online, wherever there's an OPB listing, and there are plenty throughout the city, it'll be listed.
Mm-hmm.
So you can look for the name.
Right.
Yeah, I'm announcing it at the premiere, so I don't want to give it away.
Oh, okay. Anyway,
which is only 2 weeks away.
Going back to the trailer,
yeah,
there was a lot of family impacted. I mean, you see the dinner table with that many people there, and then the other thing. So it was what extended family was involved in impacted by this woman's decision? It had to be sisters, aunts. I mean, it went pretty deep, didn't it? Yeah,
this woman made a commitment to something. She was compelled. This is an individual who's compelled. Something moves her so deeply. She just is compelled to take action, and so she does. And it's a difficult journey. So her husband and her children and her 3 best friends and and all the people she knows in her community become impacted by this decision as she moves with it. Right.
I'm glad we talked about the trailer because it is great. It does lead you to want to see the film, which is what it should do.
Well, good. That's what one hopes in a trailer.
What is your favorite part of filmmaking?
I think every part. I mean, there are lesser parts. I had to get my editing legs. I couldn't believe you sat in front of a screen for
that's my next question.
8 hours
What's your
a day.
least favorite part?
Yeah. I think though every part. I love the whole process. I love the process of a story coming forward that has to be told and taking it to its end.
I'm glad that you told it because it is a great story.
Thanks.
How long did it take you to write it?
I was still raising my kids, and I was still, and I also have a horse program that I do as my bread and butter program. So it took me about 2 years to get it up fully. I mean, I had a lot of drafts to get it to the place where, it was like it really read well. It was tight, right?
So the least favorite part has to be the editing.
Yeah.
Then. Is that it?
Well, it actually became one of my most favorite parts because it's a really wonderfully creative process to edit. To edit because it's a visual process that's it's a different part of it. But I have to admit, I mean, I have great respect for Heidi and editors. I mean, they just are always there. And I had to
it takes a long time.
It took me a week or so to kind of get into a place where I could actually do 5, 6, 7 hours a day.
Okay, so as a screenwriter, did you just write the story from beginning to end? Did you have to lay out cards? Did you have Post-it notes all over the place? How did you approach it? Because there are different approaches.
All of the above.
Oh, really? Yeah.
It's a pretty hectic process for me.
Right. Okay, you're right. Since you like to write, what is your favorite screenplay?
Oh, wow, that's really hard. But I would say, there are so many really good ones. But I would say One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest really inspired me as a screenwriter. It was so well written as an ensemble piece. So, yeah.
As a director, if you could be the assistant director for an A-list director, who would that be?
Clint Eastwood for sure.
Okay. No, you can name more than one.
Eastwood. Oh yeah, I think he inspires me to go skeletal He inspires me to cut away all the fluff, to really let it show.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he has to be your favorite director then?
Well, I have a lot of favorite directors, but
okay.
you know, he's definitely.
All right, tell us what's your favorite film.
Oh wow, I don't think there's simply no possible way for me to answer that. I mean, I've probably seen thousands and thousands of films, and I'm in love with so many.
Okay. Is there a specific type of film genre that you're drawn to?
You know, I really like, I like a lot of foreign film. I watch a lot of foreign film. And
so
where
do you get them from? Netflix? The
yeah,
library?
Netflix or Hulu, or just get online, or there's all kinds of places to access it. Movie Madness, you know, one of our favorite places in Portland.
Okay.
You know, Movie Madness.
You can't go wrong with that name, can you?
Have you ever been in there?
No, I haven't.
Oh man, you've got to go. As a film buff and a film lover, when you go in there,
I'll write it down afterwards.
You'll write it down afterwards. It's right on Belmont and like 40-something.
I'll do that.
Yeah.
What A-list actor and actress would you like to work with or direct at some point in time? Because you like to be behind the camera.
Definitely. I have a story. This is going to sound incredibly bold, but I'm just going to put it out there. I have a story that I've been working on for about 23 years, and it's my big epic piece. It's going to be a period piece. It's about a nun. I don't really want to talk about it too much, but it's a piece that spans the life of this woman, and I've often thought that it would be really cool to have Meryl Streep and her 2 daughters who both act, because they would fulfill the different decades of this woman's role, and they're all talented, and I thought that's kind of would be fun. But whoever shows up when we get there.
There you are, yeah, really.
Right. So,
as long as they're good, yeah?
Right. I mean, you just got to think about it and go there. What the heck?
Actually, we're going to take another moment here. We're going to watch another trailer.
Which one are you doing?
4 Walls and a Roof.
Oh, so this is not it's a PSA.
It's a public service announcement.
Yeah.
But it goes along with Home Skillet.
My kids are going to be totally freaked about this. Well, no, so I have to tell you the story, though, the backstory.
We'll tell us the story, and then we'll get. Should we watch it or tell the story first?
No, you should. We'll tell the story afterwards.
Okay.
All right.
We're going to take a moment now, and we're going to watch 4 Walls and a Roof. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Natasha, and I play Rella in the movie Home Skillet.
I'm Saxton, and I wrote the theme song.
I'm Rachel, and I play Danielle.
I'm Cooper, and I wrote the original score.
I wanna build you a home on a mountain where no one else will go, and you and I will grow old, surrounded by all the things that you have grown. Oh, I can't wait for you to come home.
Homelessness is the fastest growing population in America.
But it doesn't have to be that way. We have the answers.
But first, help us tell Congress that shelter is a basic human right.
Sign 4 Walls and a Roof at moveon.org and help build someone a home.
And wherever you are is where I'm home.
Wow, I'm glad you made that. It goes along with the film.
Right.
It really does. Now, why is your kids going to be freaked out?
No, the point, it's just, we kind of threw that on the 4 of them very last minute, and everybody came in, and the girls just learned the song, and you know, they said it was a little rough. I actually think it's quite charming and delightful.
I like it.
Yes. So, but
is that showing anywhere?
Well, it's attached to all the Home Skillet links, and Northwest Film Center is going to throw it up on some of their things, and it's part of moveon.org, and it's up on YouTube, and you know, it's starting to make the rounds.
So are your daughters in that?
So no, the girls, those are two
I know
of
Natasha.
the girls. Yeah, those, she played Rella, the daughter.
Yeah.
She plays a very significant role.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Yeah, yeah, it was really wonderful. It was probably her first big role ever, and it was really sweet having her on
She's
set.
a great gal. I've met her a few times.
I think she has a real future.
I do too. I agree with you on that.
Yeah.
So can you give any advice for someone trying to get a film made? Because you got a film made, which I got to give you credit. Not everybody can do. It was painstaking, and it took a long time, I'm sure. What advice can you give to anybody here in Portland about how to get a film made?
You know, that's a really hard question for me to answer, because I think that at a certain point you just have to decide that you're going to do it, and
you do.
And you have to really make that decision.
So
I mean, I didn't have any funds when I made the decision.
So how did you get the cinematographer and stuff then?
Well,
just kept going after him?
Yes. So what I did was I just started to tell everybody that I knew that I was making the film, and I had already known who one of the actresses was going to be, and Chantel, who plays Chrissy. And I already knew that I was going to use Mark Gamba as my director of photography, because he's a dear friend and just such an amazing, gifted photographer that I so wanted to work with him. So I just started telling everyone, are you ready? Let's go. And then they told someone, oh, I know someone, and they told someone. And so I just followed the synchronicities as they showed up and kept going.
You just followed
But
the
I had to
trail.
be prepared. I had to show up prepared. And if I had to say anything, I would say, don't come in unprepared.
Good.
It's just the mark of either being a professional or not.
Right. Got a couple minutes left here too,
Okay.
actually, and I'd like to talk about your other thing that you work with, and that's your
Okay.
horse, your equestrian thing. What do they call that?
Yeah, well...
I forgot the name, sorry.
No, there's no, it's just, it sort of falls under a loose category of equine horsework, equine therapy horsework. It's kind of under a loose category.
And what's the name of your website?
Hawks Grove is the name of my business.
Let's tell to the audience.
It's hawksgrove.com is the name of the website
it's a great,
that will tell you a little
thing.
bit about the horsework I do.
All right, let's tell us about that a little bit.
Yeah, what I do is I use horses to help children or individuals who are challenged by children on the ASD spectrum, autism, individuals who are traumatized with grief or anxiety, people who are just working their way through stress, with the horses. Well, you're welcome to come. You can come join us at any time.
All right, good.
You'd be very welcome.
But you get mostly kids, isn't it true?
I'm in my 5th year. I would say for my first 3 years it was largely a child population. But in the last year and a half or so, I'm now working with young adults, and I've had people who are kind of aging come in and work on an issue and then leave. So it's been really kind of fun.
No, it's been great talking to you.
Yeah.
We're starting to run out of time here, so we got to
so
go.
Much
It went by fast. It was so much fun.
Thank you, David, so much. This was so much fun.
Oh, wasn't it? It was a great time.
I'm so glad we did
I want to
thank
thank everyone for coming out or for paying attention and watching Portland Film Beat. I want to thank Fiona for being here and talking about her film, Home Skillet. I want to thank Ellery Nelson. He's my director. He works over there in the studio, does a great job. I want to thank Christo, who works here at TVC TV. He gets all this stuff set up for me. He does a whole lot of stuff so that I can come on here and have these guests talk about their films. I want to thank my wife, Carol Poland. She's the producer, and she is the helps me on everything.
Lovely woman.
Everything keeps me going here, yeah. And until next time, shoot for the silver screen.